Hello on YouTube. Hello on Twitch. And welcome to another episode of my Hearthstone Let's Play series. This is Northstar. I hope you're well, are taking care of each other, and being kind to yourselves. For those new to my channel, welcome. Returning viewers, welcome back. Reminder, I just gotta stop doing this, not buying that ever. Ongoing Merc bounty thing. I guess I could get started on that while I talk a little bit. For those new to my channel, go to my YouTube channel page. You can find this and all my previous videos in this series, as well as my many other series on my channel. Let's see. Complete Arena Bloodfeather. Interesting. Mad Bomber, Hero Fireblade. The circle back for some of those later. Right now I had a fight going on just to do Plaguemaw the Rotting and advance a little. And in this party, who did I need to advance? Melhouse and Scabs mainly. Although I also had Shadow Dance for Warrior. These three, the highest level characters, except Zyrel is higher level. Two fighters, caster. I might swap to a different caster. Good time for caster battle, especially I don't have any protectors I'm likely to use at this point. So, those new to my channel, you might not know I'm disabled on COVID affects my cognition and such, gives me very low energy, but I try. I'm also recovering from, not too far back, 4 days ago, ER visit, because I pushed myself too hard coming back from going down to where my apartment is to try and get my roommate who'd been threatening to kill me because of my cough evicted. I won the court case, but didn't succeed in my goal of getting the guy removed so that I would have a safe place to come back to. So, back to the family camp I've been staying at, but I didn't get enough time to pre-rest. On COVID, you often need to pre-rest with something before a multiple-hour drive. And if you ignore that, and just try and make up for it with caffeine like I did, then bad things can happen. And in my case, I got to where I couldn't breathe, and uncontrollable shivering, chills. I was gonna say chills, shivering. And yeah, I ended up in the ER because these symptoms went on for... Basically, they've been going on about an hour when I found, like, okay, I gotta call EMS. Was sitting at a rest stop. 15 minutes of a garage would come on. Got to where I couldn't safely drive, pull over a rest stop. Well, I saw it wasn't gonna be able to soon. It got worse and worse. 45 minutes after arriving there, I'm like, okay, I'm calling EMS. Then they went to the wrong rest stop and ended up being 26-minute response time. And yeah, it sucked. Excuse my language. So, alright, let's get Shadow Blade, Band of Knives. She actually has the Shadow Dance that made allow her she's not level 15. Band of Knives. It's from a treasure. It's only one level early, but could help. Death Colas like to Shadow Bolts, 7 damage, and this just attack something. Turn this down a little. So, I have lots of videos, by the way, on my channel. Hearthstone 4, which I'll come back to at some point. The world feels a lot like that. It's just nuts. Feels like an ahistoric game of Hearthstone 4. Trump trying to turn the US fascist, and really, it is fascist nonsense. So, complete with the kleptocracy now. I was just watching Gray Zone thing. You guys should watch it. It's a really good independent news source that in the past it was Texoid, but they're starting to branch into YouTube. They originally catered to like business elites who wanted more accurate information than a lot of the corporate media is putting out, because, you know, there's this whole saying, don't drink the Kool-Aid. These are people who serve the US empire, want to know what the truth is, and then go around and lie to the masses. But then they've branched out to a wider audience because more money, I guess, advertising, or because the truth was too left-wing for some of these people. I don't know. I think they were originally trying to move into like the niche of the economists, but they do expose some really nasty corruption and viciousness and authoritarian stuff in the U.S. Just take it with a grain of salt because they're still arch-capitalist. I'm a democratic socialist, by the way, and yeah, capitalism's got to go. But so, like, for instance, I'm sure some of you know that Citgo was a Venezuelan company, and the U.S. basically set up this shadow government, claimed someone else was the legitimate president of Venezuela instead of Chavez, back when Hugo Chavez was the president of Venezuela, and then basically stole Citgo, just seized it, and seized the Venezuelan gold reserves. This is a blatant violation of international law, and it was condemned in the UN, even by some of U.S. allies, but the U.S. got away with it. This actually started in the Obama years, but Trump did a lot of the worst of it. Obama would have probably done the same thing. He had already started some of this, but he would have wrapped it up in, like, you know, a lot more complicated legal arguments and made it seem less blatantly illegal. And Trump just like, okay, we'll just take this stuff from them. And that's what he did. And, yeah, because Trump has no respect for international law. And, but yeah, now they're selling off. Of course they are, because this is kleptocracy. Selling off Citgo at fire sale prices. You know, it's been technically kept in like a guardianship by the U.S. government for a while. Now it's being sold to this Israeli affiliated billionaire. This guy who like constantly like funds AIPAC and stuff in the U.S. and funds Marco Rubio, is now the Secretary of State, was a senator or Secretary of Defense. He's a member of Trump's cabinet. I have to double check what Rubio's exact role is. It doesn't matter because people are constantly going outside their official responsibilities in the Trump administration, so the roles mean less than they normally do. That's, by the way, a hallmark of a fascist regime, is that the official positions are just nothing but titles, and people just exercise power with no respect for guardrails or against corruption or abuse of authority, because they want to abuse their authority. Probably need to take one of these down. They'll deal too much damage too quickly. So, an arcane bolt here. Maybe speed 6. Or maybe I should just do this so I can do Sinister Strike. This one. Yeah, plus it'll attack and wipe itself out soon enough anyhow. Boom. Boom. Boom.
Job's done.
Oh. Okay, yeah, just hits one of those. They'll keep trying to take down Voliera, so actually I might just need to take them down quick enough. Let's see, 12 damage, 4 damage, that'll speed 6 wipe out. I guess an arcane bolt in preparation for great arcane missiles. Where it go down on either. Oh, iron pipe. There we go. Bam knife, sinister strike. Yeah. Let's see what this does. There we go. Wait. She attacks her friend? What? She attacks scabs with one of the abilities. That was weird. Does it target random characters? I thought it did enemies only. I'll have to double check. Shadow Dance. Khadgar's the only... Khadgar and Carrier are both humans, that's right. And they're both sitting on the bench. Well, maybe one of them will come off eventually. It's been a while. Not likely either will. But... Squisher one is Khadgar, so I'll just do a Stormwind Tabard. Blue Portal. Instant warp to the final boss. Okay. I don't have a choice, then. Plaguemaw the Rotting. Fun. So anyways, Paul Singer, this Israeli builder, I named him before, it's gonna just buy up Sicko for a fraction of what it's really worth. This is always the thing with privatization or stealing foreign assets, by the way, is that the assets then get sold off at, like, if they're really worth $1 billion, they'll be sold for 100 million, or if they're really worth 100 billion, they'll be sold for 2 billion or something. You know, they're sold at ridiculously low prices to friends of the regime, essentially. This has been something that's gone on for the U.S. for a long time, especially under Republicans, but Democrats do it too. They just disguise it a little better. Usually they care a little more for the quote rule of law, but they still do the same things. They just hide it. They want to pretend that the law is on their side and they obey the rules so that they can better weaponize the rules against governments they don't like and people within the country they don't like who aren't as powerful as them. But, you know, both parties are terribly corrupt, which is why we need proportional representation and the two-party system. We're never going to get that in the U.S. system. And if we don't, we're going to spiral into collapse, which is why I want the heck out of the country. If I can get my YouTube Twitch channel big enough, I can go to Norway and self-employment visa, or if things get bad enough, Sweden for asylum if it gets to where they're taking refugees in the U.S., political refugees. Because we're going to end up in a...
Scent of death.
Ominous. We're going to probably end up with the U.S. in a civil war at the rate things are going. Plaguemaw the Rotting and 2 ferocious Cold Wars. These were the first bosses I faced. Now they're just sidekicks this thing. I don't have any idea what they'll do to me, but I should be wary. They're like porcupines mixed with boars, I guess. Boars. Right. It's a caster, they're fighters. Can be risky to my... Probably might actually want a protector too. If I don't put a healer down, I'm probably in trouble. For sure. Oh, I forgot to check up where I got any progress from before. Well, I'll lose people. In this fight, I'll probably lose people. I might win, but I'm going to lose people on the way.
For the Alliance and my family.
Orders up.
Cool. Technically a balanced party. Alright, what can they do to me? Tough takeover. Deal 12 damage to the enemy with the highest health. Deal 5 damage to all enemies. They can't heal this turn. Oof. That's lovely. While under taunts, +6 attack. But these things deal damage, they're not actually attacks, so taunting will be useless. Try and wipe out one of the quill boars, I guess. This could do massive damage. Let's see how this goes. Party's in trouble already. Great. We can hide so he doesn't go down. Sambro, give adjacent characters taunt. And prickly spikes. After this mark is attacked, deal 5 damage to all enemies. Seal of Light to Scab, so he'll stick around. Cariel might have to sacrifice herself, so I can get the tasks done well enough. This shouldn't count as an attack, I don't think. Could do this, but then everyone would suffer 5 damage. And it might still be... no, not worth it. Do a Wicked Stab. It's not an attack. Boom. I'll actually whip that out.
Done.
63 damage. Massive overkill. Or do I not do more damage? Maybe it even contributes to XP gain. Alright. Shoot 3 missiles at the lowest health enemy. This Kobor. Taunt, I guess. Attack enemy, then gain stealth.
Job's done.
So Paul Singer basically end up billions of dollars, would be richer from stealing money from the Venezuelan people. That's what this essentially is. It's stealing money from the Venezuelan people. And then the US is going to go in and, you know, set up a friendly regime. And then, on top of this, and this is the thing that's really got me concerned, since 2014, the U.S. government has been, because as I mentioned, Obama started this stuff, trying to track down this guy who was the head of intelligence of the Chavez regime, Hugo Carnival something, and they, you know, they eventually got him in Spain, prevented him from seeking political asylum there, and extradited him to the U.S. And they already convicted him on this kangaroo court in Southern District of New York, the same one they're putting Maduro for. By the way, they already, this is a complicit judge who will just sentence anyone the U.S. government doesn't like. I suspect that that judge was just going to run a kangaroo court, and a little investigation revealed that is indeed the case. This is a Southern District Court in New York judge who will just go along with the U.S. global empire, and if the government doesn't like someone, some foreign leader we've kidnapped or whatever, he'll give him 50 years, 100 years, it doesn't matter. He's complicit. Monster. Someone's making a mockery of justice. This judge. Anyways, do this to get some healing before the putrid stench, I guess. Arcane bolts so that great arcane missiles will do more damage. Just wait. Another putrid stench. Let's see, 19 damage. Save it with 18 health. I could actually just finish it with a Shadow Blade. Yeah, probably a good idea. Get this done. But the really concerning thing is that, you know, the U.S. has this guy. They already convicted him on a trumped-up 50-year charge. Oh, that finished it first because the iron paper. Right. And now they're going to offer... They already made a secret plea deal, then offering him leniency on this trumped-up 50-year charge. I mean, to be fair, the guy was head of intelligence agency, and spy chiefs are always corrupt. Whether it's U.S. spy chiefs or, you know, Venezuelan, they're always dirty. That's just the nature of spy masters, is that they're usually dirty and do all sorts of horrible crimes. So, you know, still, 50 years is probably worse than the guy deserved. This judge just goes along with what the U.S. empire wants. To the rescue. But the really concerning thing, this is the thing that's very concerning, is that secret plea deal included an authored letter to Donald Trump supporting one of his nonsense conspiracy theories that could be used as an excuse to cancel the 2028 or the 2026 elections even. Claiming that the Venezuelan... So Venezuela does all their voting electronically. They have this Techmatic or something company that does it, and that they do all their voting electronic, but they have a paper trail. They have voter ID with fingerprinting. It's a very, very secured election system, which is why the claims that the 2024 election was fraudulent are highly suspect, just because the U.S. gets a lot of agencies that it funds, or that its allies fund, and, you know, the allies depend on the U.S. through NATO, often. To claim that the elections in Venezuela were stolen doesn't mean it's actually
Our scouts report that the Quillbore are
true.
raiding a merchant caravan south of here.
Here's coin for your trouble, and some more for escorting me to this fascinating settlement.
Stay as
sounds
long as
evil.
you need to. You can find lots of help around here. For the right price, of course. As for you, mercenary, get whatever you need, then come see me for your next assignment.
That sounds ominous. This is fascinating. I don't know. We'll see. Like, he's gonna, like, turn the settlement undead or something. Okay. This comes back up with the Merc mode. But yeah, so he wrote a letter claiming that the Venezuelan virtual voting machine company was involved in supposedly rigging the 2020 US elections to elect Biden instead of Trump. You know, this is Trump's favorite nonsense conspiracy theory. It is a lie. The 2020 elections were not stolen, to be clear. They were not stolen. And Trump is having this spy chief that they've already convicted on a trumped-up charge, and they gave a plea bargain to reduce his sentence in exchange for being a key witness against Maduro, who they were already planning to kidnap, because they signed this before they kidnapped him. But also claiming, so he's going to give Trump the excuse of, oh look, we have the spy chief claiming that Venezuela helped rig the 2020 elections, therefore we can do these new sudden emergency reforms to elections, and that just happened to actually rig the elections, these reforms supposed about protecting it. This is how fascists take power. If you think there's going to be fair 2028 elections, 2026 may be too soon, but you think there's going to be fair elections in 2028, dream again. This is... I mean, unless something changes, Trump, if he's literally having someone claim that the 2020 elections are stolen, like a spy chief, and setting up something that you can use like this, the only reason he would do this, except for, you know, propaganda value, is so he can try and interfere with the 2028 elections and make sure his favorite person, or him himself, which would be violating the Constitution, can run again. I mean, by then he'll be so old, and maybe he'd just rather put like J.D. Vance in and have him step down as a loophole to the can't run for more than 2 terms rule, rather than... Plus, then if he's too sick, he just... Yeah. But it's still, this is the kind of thing that could... Alright, let me be clear. It's not guaranteed. Nothing is ever guaranteed. But this is the kind of thing that could be used to cancel or rig elections. And certainly will be used by Trump to push for more January 6th type insurrections by claiming, oh, the 2020 elections were stolen. See this Carnival guy who's, you know, amoral spy master, because spy masters never have any real loyalties and are amoral pieces of human trash. You know, they murder and kill and kidnap. That's what spy masters do. Look, he says that Venezuela helped steal the 2020 elections in the U.S. Therefore, it must be true, even though we've, you know, this is a coerced witness. Do watch the Gray Zone things on this. Even there's just a couple shorts that summarize this very succinctly, actually. So they're each 1 minute or so, or a minute 30 seconds. I forget what the time limit is on a short, but they're very short little things. Gray Zone has one about the theft of Sitco and this Israeli American billionaire who's going to pick up Sitco wicked on the cheap. And then, of course, that's going to be used, the money, it goes circular, then it'll turn around and give campaign donations to the people who have given the company and keep these far-right politicians in power and make sure that Israel is not accountable for what they're doing overseas. At the same time, you know, this spy master guy coerced testimony claiming that the 2020 elections are stolen and claiming that Maduro is like this cartel chief, which is a load of nonsense. It's completely invented. Even the New York Times, which has been licking the boot of power lately, has raised some concerns about that. Of course, it's not unprecedented. Back when Indonesian mass killings in 1963, the G word is often used to describe those, but censorship. Back when those occurred, the New York Times licked the boot of power back then and claimed it was a victory for international freedom and democracy, while over 1 million people were being murdered for being left-wing trade unionists, socialists, communists, their families, murdered, and other horrendous crimes. I dare not say because of censorship right now and because Blizzard wants this to be rated T, so I will not go into detail about the horrific crimes that were committed in Indonesia, Jakarta, and such, though there is a book, The Jakarta Method, you should read. I'm just going to say we're headed towards very dark times, and the media is just licking the boot of power, and they've done it before. It's not actually that surprising. Corporate media is, you know, increasingly lying to us all, and Trump is preparing to claim elections were stolen so that God knows what he's going to do with that. And they're stealing the oil company, the nationalized oil company of Venezuela, stealing the resources of another country. It's just blatantly violations of international law, amoral to the extreme, and it's going to cause immense suffering in, say, Venezuela. If you think, oh, capitalism in Venezuela is going to be good, no, people are going to suffer horrendously. They may suffer a little less for the removal of sanctions, but they'll never have under socialism and, you know, the Maduro government, if we would just lift the sanctions, the people would have a hope of a better future. Under, you know, a capitalist puppet government, people will never be able to get free from living, you know, hand to mouth, very, 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 very poorly, you know, way worse than people do, say, in the US. The Latin American standard of living is typically much lower, and poverty and crime and these things will explode because there'll be no hope for the future. Whereas crime is actually, the homicide rate in Venezuela is down to like back in 2019 it was down to 3 per 100,000. I think it's gone up because the US managed to trigger hunger, and hunger leads to crime. But, you know, when socialist governments tend to have lower crime rates, all other things considered, because people feel empowered and that they have a place in the future, that they can, it's not billionaires who run their country, and that, you know, the government invests in healthcare, housing, education usually, which all help reduce crime. Anyways, Fan of Knives did benefit from Shadow Dance. That's good to know. Great arcane missiles. And just need to deal damage with scabs. Unconventional tactics. Shows them in a kitchen, but apparently like turn in stab people when they're not expecting. And secret agent, like secret agent in the kitchens of the enemies. Okay, well I can craft this hero. Curtis Ashfallen. Night Elf. Protector. Start with Demon Slayer. And then attack random enemy if it's left or rightmost enemy. Gain immune this turn. Aimless Assault. And I-Beam. Deal 4 damage or so that much health. Just Merc. This is Fell? No. Demon Hunter? What is this story? Ugh. Alright, you can gain the Fell Blade, which I-Beam also gets +1 Fell damage, so it gets more and more powerful. Eventually, Demon Guard, passive +1 attack. This Merc always deals critical damage to demons. He's on some kind of crusade against demons. I haven't seen any around, but that might be in the future, like in Fellwood, maybe. That's somewhere I would expect to find him. Alright, where is Unnatural Smoke? Equip it. Got this. Yeah, still waiting for 125 coins because it was going to upgrade Iron Bark instead of the Earth Embracers. Excuse my being concerned about politics. Oh! Hello! Rester... Someone's whose account was created 3 days ago. I don't know. You're not trying to summon viewers, but whatever. He's just put up a head icon. I don't know what it's a reference. This is some kind of trolling me or just hi and being cool. I don't know. Guy's gone. I don't like hearing about the politics stuff, even though it's the world we live in, and ignoring it doesn't make it better. And indeed, people suffer horrendously because the system is unjust. Hey, I'm likely to be suffering horrendously. I mean, right now I've got savings, but the government's trying to fight my social security case. I'm very much disabled on code. Can't think clearly. Somebody be like, oh, I know you can't think clearly. You have these ideas that are not. Just because I disagree with you doesn't mean I'm not able. That's because I can't think clearly. But it is true. I have trouble multitasking, dealing with noise, like multiple noises at once, or sometimes just repetitive. I get noise sensitivity, light sensitivity, extreme exhaustion. I can't work. And the government's going to try and fight that claim because they would rather that I die homeless than that they have to provide SSI. Zarella, Karin Valera. That should be the next party. Let's see. Zarella's and Valera are already in this. If I just threw in Rokara instead of Khadgar, we'll actually gain most of his levels through the training he's doing right now. Might even be done with that almost. I don't think so. Fun. Do I really need Cariel? Not really for this one, actually. If I have Cariel, I'll keep Khadgar around. Becomes very powerful when he's got enough XP. Who needs... Oh, where is Unnatural Smoke isn't equipped in this version. Khadgar is getting close. I think he gained 7 levels always, including in this party. I doubt Cariel would have leveled up the fight. Included her in it. Maybe not many times. Sorry for the mic bump. Okay, Serena Bloodfeather, right? Yep. 33-ish minutes. I'm gonna have to cut this in a second. I'll start this though, so I don't forget what's going on. Serena Bloodfeather training party. Boom. Fun. Alright, well, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Take care of each other. Kind yourselves. And may you always find a guiding star to lead home. Until next time, it's Northstar. Best luck to you all.